Jenny, yes, good morning. Welcome to Budapest. Jamie Carragher, as you mentioned, is with me. Two huge stories over this weekend, isn't it? Arne Slot getting sacked at Liverpool, which we'll come to in just a moment, Jamie, but you are here for the Champions League final. Can you just explain what you saw and how gutting it will have been for Arsenal to have lost in that manner?
Yeah, it will be gutting for them, but I always felt a sense around Arsenal that once they'd won the league, at least they knew they had something on the board, and it was almost like a relief. Get the league won, and the Champions League was something to almost be enjoyed. You know, come here, they come there in the thousand. Arsenal fans were fantastic. Everyone is seeing here on the streets in Budapest on the way, getting to in the ground as well. And yeah, they obviously gutted. No doubt about it, I think, but there will be a feeling that, we've won the league. We've got that out the way. We've got that monkey off our back. And they've got to come back and try and win the Champions League as soon as they possibly can.
Will there be an element of regret on the part of Mikel Arteta about how that game went? Because they scored early, and then did they push enough to try and kill it?
Well, that's always been the criticism of Arteta's Arsenal. I think the way they played last night was almost the only way they could have played to try and beat PSG. PSG weren't great in the first half. Were they there for the taking? But that's what Arsenal are. And what I would say, and I've said this all season, and I thought this would stop Arsenal winning the league, but it didn't. They don't have enough quality in attack. And there was times in that first half, especially, where they just couldn't keep the ball. And PSG weren't doing great. They weren't creating chances. But it was far too easy to allow a team just to push you back to the edge of your own box. Now, Arsenal are fantastic. The best team in the world at defending their own box, and the two centre-backs were outstanding last night. But even though they are the champions of England, they need better attackers. Now, if they get better attackers, will they fulfil their absolute potential at Arsenal? Because we all know Mikel Arteta asks a lot of his attacking players in terms of getting back and helping the full-backs. But when you look at the quality in the front four of PSG compared to Arsenal, it's night and day.
There is that feeling, though, that because they've got the Premier League over the line after 22 years, maybe it can take the shackles off with quality signings in the summer, right?
Yes, and I think that was the idea in the summer in terms of bringing Gyökeres in. It hasn't quite worked out for them, but I do look at the centre-forward position, I look at the left-wing position, and I think they need big upgrades, really, if they're going to win a Champions League. And without them, they come really close. I mean, your penalties away. But when you look at the run they had to the Champions League final, it was a very favourable run. So I think when they come up against the best teams in Europe and you look at the attacking players they've got, I think they're always going to be at a disadvantage. So that is definitely where they need to improve in the summer.